Hi guys, Blake here today with Lilley's Landing Resort and Marina on beautiful Lake Taneycomo. It is Friday. I don't know what time, and I think it's the 5th or the 6th. I forgot my phone on the dock. So it is, despite the actual time, it's about sunset. Oh, I'm talking to the camera. Talking to my camera.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
That's all good. But the sun is setting. So, came out here to fish after work, and the water was supposed to be off for longer than this, but they just blew 4 horns, roughly going on 10 minutes ago. So I think they kicked it back on to a full 4 units. And so hopefully we can take advantage of this. There's some fish starting to jump. I think maybe the first bit of water's getting here. And so I'm going to throw a 1/32 ounce jig, sculpin and ginger with an orange head. And if we can catch this water hitting us at the right time here, then we might pick up a few fish. I'm going to stay spot locked right here for a second. I'm right across from Point Royale. Lookout Island's just right up there. I've been fishing for probably an hour and a half now, maybe 2. And I just caught my first fish just a minute ago. I have been down by the golf course and tried some smaller 14 and 16 size scuds. Over there in that real shallow water where they've been bedding. I tried throwing the white thread jig kind of out in the middle and towards the bluff. I tried 2 different colors of mega worm, and then I came up below Andy Williams's house and tried the mega worm there. And then I went all the way up past Lookout, as shallow as I could get, and went back to trying the scuds. And didn't have any luck on anything. I know it was a couple casts ago, but nothing officially on the first cast. I'm trying to use my spot lock to get a good judge on how fast the water's moving quite yet. I think we're starting to get a little movement here, so that's good. A lot of the time, whenever they kick the water on, wherever that water reaches, that's as it comes down the lake, as that new water hits, it'll tend to revigorate the fish just a touch, kind of get them active, give them a little burst of oxygen, and if I can hit it at the right timing here, I might be able to let the boat drift with that new water coming in. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that when they blow the horn, each horn goes for 1 unit, I think. And they blew 4 back to back. To back to back. Also, even when the water is off, sometimes the last hour, but usually that last 20-30 minutes of light, even if they weren't chasing a jig all day, sometimes as soon as that sun starts setting and their light conditions disappear just a little bit, they will start eating a jig or a jerkbait, something they weren't chasing during the day, with the water off really good. So, hoping that between the mixture of things, might spell good conditions for catching a fish on a jig. I'd say total, after the snow finally stopped falling, that we got at least 10 inches here, if not a little more. There's a fish. That was a really slow motion jump. Oh, I knew he was going to do that. Okay, we don't get a look at that one. Oh. Alright, it is starting to get cold enough to freeze my line again. Did get up to about 35 today. Lots of guys pouring in this afternoon, and I'm sure still right now. Finally breaking free from home and getting here for the Raw tournament this weekend, tomorrow. I don't know how many cancellations we have, but I think the tournament's still going to be in that 60 to 80 teams range. So right now I'm parked in the middle, but I'm fishing the bluff, which I haven't fished this high up on the bluff in quite a while. Usually if I'm throwing a jig, I throw over there below Andy Williams' eddy down the bank there for a while, and then I will turn around and cast out towards the middle. Spent all day blowing snow and shoveling snow and moving trailers in the snow. So I didn't get a chance to talk to the guys that were here fishing today. I talked to Mike Riffle whenever I was on my way up here, and he was reeling in a fish, and they were fishing 1/50th ounce jigs underneath a float on the fly rods. I said they were catching a few doing that. Right now I'm letting my jig sink pretty much all the way to the bottom and hit the bottom before I jig it. I'm watching my line. You can see it do this, and then when it hits the bottom, the line will start falling back across the water towards you. And then I'm watching for any disturbance in the line that doesn't look like a natural sinking motion. After yesterday's one cast, we actually drifted all the way from where we started at the boat ramp back to Lilleys, and we wound up catching 2 more browns and a couple more rainbows. It was for the amount of people we had fishing in the boat, still low numbers and kind of slow, but in the last month certainly seen more browns being caught on a regular basis. Alright, we are definitely starting to move. You can see the water level rising on the island out there in front of me, and the current running through that shallow channel there, so we're starting to get some water. I should have timed it and waited about 10 more minutes to start the video. There was a fish right there. As my water speed starts increasing, I'm going to start just barely bumping the trolling motor at the beginning of each cast, getting the boat going just a little bit slower, letting that jig sink a little bit longer as I slow the boat down and get a little bit of a swing in the line. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Okay, there's 2 hits now that the water's moving. Really peaceful out here. I love these bluffs whenever they're snow covered. You can really see all the rock formations really well. It's important if you're gonna try to slow your boat down just a little bit and swing these jigs that you're really giving it time to get down there to the bottom. If not, you'll just be continually kind of bringing it up in the water column and getting out of the strike zone, unless the fish are way up high, but usually they're kind of more towards the bottom. And I'm still watching my line real carefully, because you can tell when either that jig hits the bottom or if it goes flat, it's supposed to still be sinking. Gosh. Well, I can definitely say that they are short striking. They are picking it up and letting it go really fast. I have taken a look to see what the generation pattern is going to be like tomorrow. It's kind of been a little different this week. A few days they've done some stuff we haven't seen in a while. But today was kind of back to that 4 units in the morning and off at noon, and get him? Oh, I did get him. This might be a nice fish. Holding to the bottom pretty hard. Maybe I snagged a sucker. I was thinking maybe brown trout, but looks like a rainbow. Yay! There we go. So on that fish, my jig had swung basically dead even with the back of the boat. It was straight back that way, and right before I was about to reel it in, I did a couple jerks. I didn't go up with it, I just jerked back, and that was how I managed to stick him. And that's something we do off the dock as well. When you throw a jig off the dock and you got a current, sometimes you just, when it swings all the way past you, give it a couple jerk bait motions before you bring it back in, and sometimes that's how you get the fish. That was a terrible cast. Water is picking up speed pretty quick. I'd say it's already came up, over a foot. If they really did turn on a full 4 units, it won't be too terribly long before my 1/32 ounce jig probably isn't enough no matter how long I let it sink. yeah. Water is picking up speed quick. We're gonna go last cast, and we are gonna do it on this side of the boat where the water's a little shallower. Hopefully I'll be able to get to the bottom just a little bit better. Oh. Hey. These fish are fighting strong today. Oh, that was a brown trout. Well, they're also good at throwing my hook today. It was a little brown, about yay big. Well, we thank you guys for watching. Like and share us on Facebook, and we'll get out here and do it again for you tomorrow. Thanks, guys.